creeps, it's Cameron again, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about books, movies, writing, and all things spooky. Last week on Library Macabre, I teased a video having to do with the Fear Street series by R.L. Stine. So this week, I'm going to be going over all of the books in my Fear Street collection. I wanted to make this episode of Library Macabre mostly because R.L. Stine recently rebooted the Fear Street series with the Return to Fear Street series. This is the first book in that series. It is called You May Now Kill the Bride, and it just recently came out, and the next two books are going to be coming out in the next few months. I have been super stoked to read this book for several months now. In fact, at the beginning of the year when the book was announced, I did a write-up on the Nightmare on Film Street podcast website in which I announced that this book was being released. Ever since then, I've been very excited to read it. And when I got this book in the mail, I was going to start it, and then I started thinking, you know, it's been a really long time since I've read any of the older books in the Fear Street series, and I thought it would be really cool if I started reading them in the order that they were released, going all the way up to this book. Now that is a very big task. There are over 100 books in the Fear Street series if you count all the spin-offs, so it's going to be a lot of reading, but I thought it would be fun, and maybe I'll make a series of videos going over all of the books as I read them. So my epic reread of the Fear Street series is going to be coming within the next few months, so keep an eye out for that. But I thought before I do anything like that, it would be cool to go over my collection of all of the original books. I don't have anywhere near all of the books in the series. I have a little over 70, and I still have a bunch more to find. These books have become pretty rare, so still collecting them, but I have a very good selection of them, you will see. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into my Fear Street collection. Since I don't own a copy of the first Fear Street book yet, we are starting off with book 2, titled The Surprise Party. Book number 7, Haunted. Next, Halloween Party. The Fire Game. The first Fear Street Super Chiller, Party Summer. The second Super Chiller, and my personal favorite Fear Street book, Silent Night. The Prom Queen. A Valentine's Day themed super chiller, Broken Hearts. The Cheater. All 3 books in the Fear Street saga, The Betrayal, The Secret, and The Burning. As well as a new reprint binding up all 3 books in the trilogy. Silent Night 2, which sadly doesn't feature an evil Santa. The New Boy. The Cheerleaders trilogy, featuring the first evil, the second evil, and the third evil. The Thrill Club. The Dead Lifeguard. Book 1 in the 99 Fear Street House of Evil trilogy, The First Horror. The Mind Reader. Another Fear Street super chiller called The New Evil, which is the 4th installment in the Cheerleaders series. Wrong Number 2. Truth or Dare. Final Grade. Switched. The Cataluna Chronicles, The Deadly Fire. The Perfect Date. The Confession. The Boy Next Door. Goodnight Kiss 2. All 3 books in the Fear Park trilogy. The First Scream, The Loudest Scream, and The Last Scream. The Stepsister 2. The New Year's Party. Secret Admirer. What Holly Heard. Night Games. Silent Night 3, which sadly does not feature evil mannequins. Next is Runaway. All Night Party. Into the Dark. The Best Friend 2, which as you can see suffered from a bit of a cover change. Fear Hall, The Beginning. Another super chiller called The Evil Lives, which is the 5th book in the Cheerleaders series. Next are a couple of collector's editions. Volume 1, The Beginning, which collects the first 3 books in the series, The New Girl, The Surprise Party, and The Overnight, as well as Volume 9, Creatures of the Night, which collects Haunted, Bad Moonlight, and Trapped. And another collector's edition binding up Goodnight Kiss 1 and 2. Next are a handful of books from the Fear Street Saga's spin-off series, A New Fear, House of Whispers, The Sign of Fear, Daughters of Silence, Heart of the Hunter, The Awakening Evil, Faces of Terror, and One Last Kiss. As well as a few books from the Seniors spin-off series, Let's Party, The Thirst, Fight Team Fight, Sweetheart, Evil Heart, Spring Break, and the 11th book, Prom Date. Next is book 3 from the new Fear Street series, Scream Jennifer Scream,
as well as Midnight Games from the Fear Street Nights spinoff. In hardcover are the first 5 books from the previous Fear Street spinoff: Party Games, Don't Stay Up Late, The Lost Girl, Can You Keep a Secret, and The Dead Boyfriend. And last up is You May Now Kill the Bride, the first book of the Return to Fear Street series.
And those are all the books that I have in my Fear Street collection. I really hope you creeps enjoyed this video. If you would like to order a copy of the brand new Fear Street book, You May Now Kill the Bride, I will post links down below in the graveyard where you can order it. That is all I have for you on this week's episode of Library Macabre, and I will see you next time. Later, creeps.